show you again the gross profit unit per your cook yield. So here's your salt and phosphate, and here's with the carrageenan. Okay. Now these are cooked products, hence why you're using the carrageenan. So to sum that up, if you're going to control your purge at the very beginning using the Citri-Fi, because it's totally unique in that purge control, then you can use a carrageenan afterwards to keep that for your cook yield, and therefore you'll have increased gross profits for your customer. When you're doing chilled, and you don't need to worry about the cook yield so much, then using the fibre is perfect. And we'll show you some results that we did where we tumbled the chicken with the fibre yesterday, and it's holding up the water within the structure of the meat. So if you've got a customer that's doing fresh meat, they can then tumble with the fibre, and it holds up that moisture so that when it's in the supermarket, the moisture is retained within the meat structure and it doesn't all come out on a tray. So from the consumer's point of view, they haven't bought a product that's got all that liquid at the bottom of the tray, which is very unattractive. Here's some more work that we did, again from the chill point of view, and where we've used the Citri-Fi here, more sodium citrate, and here's your gross profit units plus here's the purge or your drip loss. And again, this particular product had excellent results, but the flavour was an issue. So again, you trade off. You're trading off with the fact that you're trying to create this fantastic product that doesn't purge and holds all its water, but at the cost and the expense of your taste profile. So these results are fairly typical. I've done them quite a few times. So the gross profit and the purge, these results here, generally speaking, are pretty much standard across the board whenever I've done the work. Obviously, though, you're probably going to one of your customers and it'll be totally different. It's always the way. This is again some more work we did with chicken, again chilled. And one of the new laws that's just come through in Australia is that if you inject whole birds or chicken, when the consumer goes to purchase it and eat it, there can only be a certain amount of liquid within that plastic bag that the poultry, the bird's in. Because that way then the consumer doesn't feel like they're being ripped off. So consequently, chicken processors are looking at ways of controlling their purge, and we just submitted to one of our major large chicken processors the use of using the 140. And in fact there's a packet down there of the barbecue where it's been used for purge and succulents, the orange, the red one. Yeah. And that's what we have in Australia, barbecue chops, barbecue chicken. So, and that's got Citri-Fi in it. Again, for purge control and then succulents for later on when it's cooked. Okay, so from these systems back here, this one's here, where they didn't have the STPP, the phosphates, so we had some excellent results, and we commercialised that, and this company doesn't mind me telling you about them, and they are here, more relaxed. And so what they've done is they've done a cooked product with Citri-Fi in it, and it's got a nice clean label, and you buy that in the chilled section at the supermarket. You can see it on the back of the packets there. So, and what they were after was not not too many E numbers on the back of the packet. And the Citri-Fi made a big difference with the flavour, the texture, which the carrageenan couldn't do alone. These will be the samples that we will review a bit later. And in summary, using Citri-Fi basically helps with your purge, controls that water holding capacity of your product, and therefore will improve the juiciness and the moisture retention within your product. It will give you a much better flavour profile. So obviously from a consumer point of view, you'll go back for more. The bonus for the meat processors is obviously they're going to get improved yield structure, so the cost in use is quite high, quite low for them. Got it wrong. And then clean label, so overall, excellent product for them. Will I do the ham now or leave that for tomorrow? Because we're not going to view the hams till tomorrow. We'll do the ham tomorrow? Yeah, keep the pan on. So later we'll have a look at the chicken that we've made, and you'll notice a big difference in the flavour profile. So what we'll have is this control, which is salt and phosphate. Then one has been tumbled with 140 with phosphate, 340 with phosphate, and then the 100 and 300 without phosphate. And they're just as succulent, they should be, as if they had phosphate there. There will be a difference, if you're a processor, there will be a difference with the yield, but only just. Okay, thank you. Because of the xanthane in it, what you find is when you're using it, and I've used it in the poultry, you do get better results, but unfortunately because of the xanthane, getting it into the brine mix can be a bit tricky. So what we tend to do is dry blend it in with all your ingredients, and then you add it. We've used a lightning stirrer, so a mixer, so you need high shear, and then you just pour it into the vortex and it should go in quite nicely. But I found that you're best off making sure it's all mixed in, mixed in with all the other ingredients, so your salts and anything else. If they haven't got much in there, like Moira Max, they don't have an awful lot of ingredients in their product, then dry blend it on some dextrose. It's cheap, simple, it will need it will need a carrier to get into solution, otherwise it will just fish on.
Won't have any problem with the injection process?
No, definitely not.
The brine is too big for it?
No, because you're only adding, when I did those, I only used it at 1.5, and in fact I think Moira Max used it at 1%. So no, not at that level. That's 1 kilo and 100 kilo pail, so no, it's not an issue.
And you said that for example, for fresh poultry products, you can just tumble it without injecting it.
You can. The 100M40 isn't as successful as the 300. The 300 will penetrate the chicken pieces a lot better. And I'm talking about skinless chicken here. So they have to have the skin off, and they're usually deboned, so breast meat is very typical. So, and that's what we've used today. The 300 will penetrate into the muscle of the meat quite nicely. The 100 takes a little bit more. If you use the 100 with some sodium citrate and carrageenan, then yes, it will penetrate quite nicely. But again, you have to be very careful that you don't use too much sodium citrate or the flavour becomes an issue.
So, but the final appearance of the product for the customer, the end customer, the chicken won't be in the surface, will be sticky.
The 300 makes it a little bit sticky. The 100 is not so much the case. So, but if most of this work, the products are cooked afterwards anyway, so the consumer wouldn't know the difference.